So Laura, maybe you could share some of the things that have happened since you joined, because it was health challenges originally, but I know every time I read something, it's like new. There's wins, there's on all different levels.
Yes, wow, that's a good question. I was actually looking at my document with weekly wins earlier on, and I was like, okay, I think something that I want to share that I also learned is the fact that there are so many things happening in my life, and I was doing in my life so many things and aspiring to reach, let's say, success on so many topics. So it feels somehow that, would be taking one by one and noticing wins on all those levels. So yeah, it started with health and really focusing on that and really transforming and in a way finding myself in all that process. But at the same time, I have so many great things happening for myself and for my husband. Something that I came across and reminded myself of was we started enjoying life more. We started traveling more. We started going on, I don't know, to certain events. And obviously, the fact that things have opened after the pandemic is helping. But that being said, I think it is about enjoying the moment and learning to be okay with whatever is happening in the moment.
Thank you so much for joining me. Laura, do you want to share where you are in the world?
Yes, I'm in Dublin, in Ireland, and I think it's appropriate to say good morning and good afternoon and good evening, and to everyone in our community around the world.
I know. Our community is all over the world. And Laura, you're not originally from Dublin?
I'm not. No, I'm from Bucharest, from Romania.
Welcome. I'm so pleased to have you here. So the reason I have Laura on, because Laura has been practiced. She's been in our community for several months now. I don't know. Is it a year yet? Is it a year? I don't think it's nearly.
It's when I joined you.
Yes. So Laura is going to be sharing a little bit of her journey with Powerhouse, but also one of the practices that we do every month, every week in our group that is so connected with Mercury and this idea of Mercury. So for those of you who don't know what Mercury or who Mercury is, he is the god of the messenger. So basically, it is the god of messages and of communication. And every Friday in our community, we have a practice called our Friday Wins. And it's a reflection on what's happened. And it's also an opportunity to kind of have a look at where we're doing, what needs to be changed, and also a reimagining of what's going to happen next week and what's going to happen, what you're going to do. So basically, they're the three things that we're going to talk a bit more about. And Laura is the queen of this. Because she has literally been one of the most diligent people sharing and doing this practice every single week in our Powerhouse community. And I would love for you to just kind of share where you were when you joined Powerhouse, a bit of your journey, and then that practice that you've been doing, because we're going to do it with everyone in the community.
Yes. I will tell you why I joined Powerhouse, and things were very challenging with my health at that point in time, and also between kind of starting the process and hearing about the fact that there's magic and miracles, going back to a workshop that you did last summer, Patricia. I realized that there's so many beautiful things in my life that deserve to be noticed, and I have this practice that I actually write daily, the things that are amazing, that are absolutely magical in my life, and then it's great to review them once a week and to note them as the week begins in the community. And at the same time, something I love is actually going through so many messages, tens of messages of the other community members, and I get a lot of inspiration from everyone. So I find that also very powerful.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So Laura, maybe you could share some of the things that have happened since you joined, because it was health challenges originally. But I know every time I read something, it's like new. There's wins. There's on all different levels.
Yes, wow, that's a good question. I was actually looking at my document with weekly wins earlier on, and I was like, okay, I think something that I want to share that I also learned is the fact that there are so many things happening in my life, and I was doing in my life so many things and aspiring to reach, let's say, success on so many topics. But it is actually when I joined your program, Tricia, and when I understood, the 9 areas of the house, and the fact that yes, we can balance everything. And whether you talk about career, whether you talk about health, whether you talk about your fame and reputation, etc., everything, it's part of us, and it can be in balance. So it feels somehow that would be taking one by one and noticing wins on all those levels. So yeah, it started with health and really focusing on that and really transforming and in a way finding myself in all that process. But at the same time, I have so many great things happening for myself and for my husband. Something that I came across and reminded myself of was we started enjoying life more. We started traveling more. We started going on, I don't know, to certain events. And obviously, the fact that things have opened after the pandemic is helping. But that being said, I think it is about enjoying the moment and learning to be okay with whatever is happening in the moment. And I have a little story related to Mercury retrograde. I will definitely put this in my weekly wins, because yesterday I was just going to the hospital and coming back, and the car, I got a light flashing, a red light came up saying that, check coolant and things like that. And I was like, okay. And it's interesting because I didn't make the link until in the evening when I signed up to Rachel's newsletter. Rachel who does the astroguide polls in the community. And I got one of her newsletters, and she said there that, look, you might notice unusualities in vehicles, in technology. I was like, oh my God, that is exactly what happened to me today, because things were not working, but at the same time, it was an opportunity for me. Like, I had so much fun. It was a great day, a lovely sunny day in Dublin. And I went to 3 petrol stations, and in the end, magical ideas like just intuition and just being in the present. I was like, okay, I think after speaking with my husband, speaking with people at the petrol station, I said, I think I'm going to ring somebody at the dealership and they will tell me what to do. And at that point in time, everything was like, yeah, you just pour some water and then you check the following morning. And I was like, oh, that was so easy. So I'm amazed that I had the challenge, and at the same time that I was so calm and cool. And at some point in all those conversations with Cosmin, he said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm just chatting with a lot of men at the petrol station, because I was networking with so many people and asking them, what to do in this situation? And I learned so much. Like, there's so many types of coolant, the blue, the red, the pink. I was like, okay, right. So yes, there is magic in every single moment.
I love it. I love it. And this is part of that staying chilled and cooled with the with what's moving through and what's happening. So for you, I would love to hear more about this journey for you, because a lot of things have kind of completed and there's a start. You've been starting a lot of new things.
Yes. I think it's, we're talking sometimes about kind of shredding the old and allowing the new to come in. From a health point of view, I was sharing that I was diagnosed back in 2015 with multiple sclerosis, and the fact that I started getting more, challenges and digestive challenges and walking challenges at the beginning of 2020. And with all this journey of healing, on one hand, it is about regaining confidence in myself. understanding the magic of our bodies and the natural innate intelligence of our bodies, but at the same time listening to, you know, our bodies tell us, listening to what my emotions tell me. And really, I love the idea of watching myself, you know, even if it's something that comes up and I would get frustrated with something. So this is all part of the change that I called. I'm like, okay, what is the message in this? You know, I'm like, this is not, I don't want to say normal. This is not natural. This is not who I am. And after that, I say, okay, I'm going to do something about it. And it's amazing how the right people, how the right words from people come into my life. And yeah, it's these synchronicities. They're just amazing. And speaking about being, you know, noticing what is not working and having the confidence that we can change, having the confidence that we can leave aside the old and bring in new. And it is a mix between intentions and willpower, but it is also what the most important thing is, going with the flow. So being part of the community, one of the things that I do every morning, and I think it's April last year, when I was to your live event, Patricia, and you put that song, you know, Magic. How does it get any better than this? I listen to that song every morning. Sometimes I dance on it as well. And, you know, things are getting better and better all the time. And it's like, yes, how does it get better than this? Like, and the universe kind of answers that question every single day.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Laura, I am so grateful for having you here. And I'm just so happy to hear that things are moving in flow and getting better and better and better. What about for your husband? You've noticed some changes with him?
Yes. It's interesting because my husband is still like, what is this? Why are you doing all these things? But at the same time, as I'm noticing changes, like he was offered the opportunity to do courses that at some point he was like, oh my God, this is like a $6,000 course and I just can do it for free. And of course he has his kind of logical way of, you know, there's some funding from, you know, some government department or all this kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, this is amazing. There are things like, you know, he's recognizing his work and he's doing amazingly well there, and he's getting bonuses in work, and it's absolutely fantastic, you know, to see all these things unfolding for him as well, not only for me, but yeah, I think it's all the magic. And I will share something else because I was doing with a friend, like I've done a number of courses, like learning to listen to your intuition, and I was working with a friend, you know, she was scanning my bodies, my physical, my energetic, my spiritual, my you know, mental and emotional bodies. And at some point in that you know, meditation, scanning, using the intuition, she said, there's a lot of support from your house, Laura. And I said, yes, it is. I have all my remedies in, and everything is in balance from the house. So yeah, it's quite amazing. Oh my God. You're being noticed.
That is so beautiful. And I think for me, for everyone today, just to really listen into this energy of magic that you're experiencing, and that connection with just that support of your home, and for everything. I'm just like so grateful for you sharing, because start to reimagine, you know, to reflect, to redo and just reimagine a new way. And Laura, you're just an embodiment of that here today. So it's so beautiful to hear you share your wins and just share this beautiful energy from you. It's just so gorgeous. I know, Laura, there's a lot of people who've been exploring and hearing about Powerhouse over the last few months and maybe interested in joining. And I suppose I always ask this question, like, what would you say to people who are considering joining Powerhouse for, you know, it's an adventure and a new journey.
Yes, absolutely. Something that comes to mind is, I think it was Albert Einstein who said that how we perceive the universe, whether the universe is a friendly universe or, what is your view of the universe? Is it friendly or is it not friendly? That's how our life unfolds. And I also remember back in February last year, I was on a call with you when you were also giving workshop at the beginning of the year in the free community. And I remember you saying this, you're here for a reason. And I was like, okay, is this like a sales type of talk? What is this? But at the time I was disconnected, and in a way, like the last year or more, it showed me how we are all connected and everything happens for a reason. So without me having originally those doubts, like, what is this? Why is she saying this type of thing? I'm like, no, actually, the people who are here, the people who cross your path and the powerhouse path, it's meant to be. There's no such thing as coincidences. So yeah, I think that's what I would that's what I would tell people.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. And I'm glad I changed your mind. I realized.
Oh, absolutely.
I always feel like when I'm sitting beside someone, I'm like, I wonder what's going on in their house when they end up meeting me. Thank you so much, Laura. Is there anything else you'd like to share? I would love to just share deep gratitude for you and for being part of our community and your enthusiasm and your commitment to sharing your wins every week and to putting out what you're going to do the next week, because that is the epitome of this journey, reflecting, getting clearer on the vision, but also taking action. And you've literally done it, because I know every week you're like, I'm doing these remedies, I'm going to watch this module. And that's the journey of a successful person in Powerhouse. They join, they take action, and they literally commit to that thinking about stepping into a new way of being, a new future.
I totally agree. There's one last thing that I will add at the very beginning, because I know myself being, very ambitious and being, kind of taking pride in that at the same time. But in the last couple of months, I discovered that after also at some point you recommended the Surrender Experiment, the book, and I got that and I read that. And at some point a couple of months ago, I was like, actually, I can go with the flow, and I can just tell that I will enjoy every single moment, of my life. And somehow I continue to do loads of things unexpectedly just because I feel like doing them. And yeah, magic happens. What my message is, at the very beginning, in order to reach that flow stage, it was about setting clearly those intentions. I'm going to watch a video. I'm going to, tie the red ribbons, all those kind of things. At the beginning, it was about being very specific. Subsequently, I learned that I can trust my intuition, and I learned that I can just trust that flow. So
I love it. Thank you so much, Laura.